There we go, I am recording. What's the loudest sound I can make? Right, okay, we're good. That's still in the threshold. Yeah, I can make some loud sounds. Hello everybody and welcome to the Purely Vanilla podcast. I am joined by no Trinitro Tea this week, but we have a special guest and that is Redroi.
Hello there.
You can catch us on Spotify, YouTube and YouTube Music. And, well, let's get into the podcast. Hello Redroi. So, yeah, welcome to the chaos.
Hi, I'm Redroi. I'm a Minecraft YouTuber, and I stream a little bit of random stuff with my friends, but nothing much. I played with Pixel on Shroomcraft and Adaption. Not Adaption, what am I saying? Amplified Life.
Yeah, that was a few months ago now. Well, let's get on to the news for this week before we start talking to each other. There have been no Minecraft updates, as we've just had 1.21, but we have had the announcement that Mojang are updating their art. This is what the article says. We're making updates to the Minecraft artwork that features on game boxes, digital storefronts, and our own PC launcher. It's worth noting that the artwork isn't arriving alongside a gameplay update. Everything featured is already waiting to be discovered or crafted today. Minecraft has been around for 15 years, well, a version of Minecraft at least. Since then we've added new platforms, features and ways to play, and every now and then we update the artwork to represent our game. A load of pictures are then shown, which are beautiful and in the bare bones style of texture. Of course, we couldn't include everything in the new art. Today's game is so jam-packed with epic stuff we had to make compromises. In fact, we calculated that a single image containing all Minecraft's features would approximately take 15 years to load and require us to increase the size of our packaging by 15,000%. We hope you like the new look, which will be rolling out soon. So yes, new artwork, which looks quite nice. It's the same style as what we've got already, but a load of new things. Now, Try. Oh, I've just called you Try. This is...
That's alright.
Now, Red, have you been doing anything in Minecraft this week?
I have, actually. I have been playing on quite a few different servers, all of which are pretty chaotic. Most notably 44L, which is a live series made by someone called Vilma, and everyone has 4 lives and 4 deaths, and when you're on your red life you can attack people. You've probably seen this on Pixel's channel, but the way it works is now it's long life, so it is season 8 I believe, and there is a blood moon that happens every, I'd say, about half an hour. During that blood moon, it's essentially a purge, and you can kill who you want and pretty much attack anyone during that time. The other thing I've been playing on is a thing called Pity Life, sorry, not Pity Life. It used to be called Pity Life. I'm messing myself up here. It's Last Life with Origins, and I believe you get rolled a random amount of lives ranging from 3 to 6, and you get a random origin every time you die. So yeah, it's been pretty chaotic, but also very fun. I've been just running around the map with my origin and just saying hello to all the people on the server and messing around.
Nice. I may have just turned my fan on then accidentally, that's what the noise was. But this week, as you all know, I have been working on my texture pack, And I've done a bit more. As I said, I would be working on the stones. And let's say I've got stone bricks done, chiseled stone, and cracked stone bricks, as well as normal plain stone. Next, I'm going to move on to moss and the mossy variants of stone bricks and cobblestone. I haven't quite gotten to cobblestone yet, but that will be straight after the moss, and that means I will be rolling out update 1.2 to the public at some point in the future. Yes, I know 1.1 hasn't come out yet, or should I say 1.0, because I've messed the updates up there, but you know what I mean. I haven't rolled it out yet, mainly because I need to keep on making changes, and I have been very busy. Now, I'm making a return to my main channel very soon, but before that point, I've got to gather every single bit of lore, because I did quite a bit of lore, so every single video going all the way back to when I did Bed Wars in 2022 to, I believe, Skyblock this year. I've got to condense them down and force them into a movie or a couple of movies that will be much faster paced, because, well, if you look at the Bed Wars videos, there was just like silence for a solid 5 minutes straight, so those bits have been cut out and the interesting bits put in, so it makes a nice story. And it's going to take a while to edit all of that, but I am up to Shroomcraft Season 1, Episode 1. So I've done quite a bit. I've condensed it down to about 45 minutes. So that's Bed Wars, Better Minecraft, and the Other Worlds mini-series that I did. So all of that has been chopped and cut and made a bit better, with some new effects as well have been added in, and a new set of music. So that's coming along well, and then after that I will be writing a script for another movie which will be coming out, and I can't really say much about it because it's very much in the working stages, and I want to keep it a surprise when I can roll out trailers and build up the hype. So yeah, I've been doing quite a bit and probably need to stop and do one thing at a time, but that's me.
Quite a lot of work.
Yeah,
I see.
definitely.
Yeah. Might need a little bit of a break there, Pix.
Yeah, I was doing that for a few months after Skyblock, and I've kind of wanted to bring everything to an end. You'll see what I mean in the second or possibly third movie. Everything comes to an end. Everything, Redroi. Everything.
Jeez. Everything. Pretty. I'm got no words. Everything.
Yep. So it's going to be quite cool, and it's not going to be like the Other Worlds movies I did, mainly because if you call 45 minutes a movie, that's not quite right, and the quality of those was an atrocity, to say the least. I mean, the first one was alright, the second one, for a good portion of the video, was me just running around trying to find Bluffing Jam and saying, "Who are you? Who are you?" And then we couldn't exactly hear what he was saying because I didn't record the audio right or something along those lines. And then the third one was 3 minutes long, so you can't even call that even a video, to be honest. But yeah, that's all been condensed down, and it should be beautiful by the end of it. Absolutely amazing. Should be, at least. So yeah, I've written a tiny bit of the second script, but not too much because I need to do the editing of the first bit. I'm doing too much at once. I really need to slow down here.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think you need to set up a break.
Yeah.
That sounds honestly amazing. I can't wait to watch. Like, it sounds like you put a lot of effort and work into them, and just it shouldn't be quite long, but quite a good watch.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to make as well. It's going to be very fun. And also, I take breaks in between editing sessions because I need it, to be honest. I need just to go, right, I am not going to be editing another Shroomcraft video and condensing that down. I'm going to go outside and have a walk now. I'm going to learn some lines. I'm going to do something else. But yeah, I just need those tiny bits of break to keep moving it and pushing it along. But now we can move on to the main topic of today, which is how to make a engaging and good, should we say, Minecraft video.
Yeah.
And now that may be a tiny bit ironic considering I have the most subscribers at the moment on only 690, I believe now.
689.
Okay.
I'm looking at your channel right now.
He's spying on me. Yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of ironic, but we can still sort of go down the route of here's some advice to make it engaging. And that brings me to the first point of editing is key. Because
Yeah.
if you, as I was saying, if you look at my old Bed Wars videos, they were barely edited. It was like 30 minutes of me just playing a Bed Wars game and saying nothing for half the time. And it was genuinely boring. But as soon as you edit those silences out, or those boring bits where you're just going to get some iron and gold or crossing a bridge, it's much more engaging to the viewer. The viewer hangs on, because people's attention spans have decreased drastically recently. Like, you look 10, 20 years ago, they were much higher. You look now, and, well, you've got, like, the 5-year-olds who will be the majority of people watching the videos. Maybe slightly older elements like
Yeah,
us.
slightly older.
But, like, they go around saying skibbity toilet riz and stuff, and it's just like, you need to keep their attention spans high, because, well, you look at YouTube Shorts and they do much better because, well, short attention spans.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I mean, a lot of just good videos these days are pretty much, I mean, the editing honestly carries some of them. I mean, there have been multiple times where I don't think that not necessarily the video idea is the most creative, but just their, like, the person who's made the video, their skill at editing it, and like just their general, like, the effects that they put on the video and all that has genuinely made me keep on watching to the end, and maybe even clicked on their channel and watched a couple more videos, because it affects a video so much. I mean, if you mess up in the editing, like here or there, I mean, it can pretty much mess up an entire video.
Yeah, like, I think it was all the way back in Shroomcraft Season 1 when I did Episode 6. I definitely messed up the editing on that. I tried to do sort of engaging bits. The most engaging bit of that was, I believe, me going into a ravine, nearly dying and picking up iron. It was pathetic. The only slightly cool lore bit about it was a rift had opened up, and that had no use in the entire plot except the fact of introducing everybody to rifts, really, but it was also, could also still be the least viewed video on my channel, so it was an atrocity. Like, if I go back to it now, I'm just trying to get it up. Let's switch over to my main channel. So this is quite a few years ago. There's Season 2, there's Season 1. Yeah, Episode 6, 17 views, and that was it. It was a whole lot less at the time, because people have gone back and viewed it a bit more, but then you look at Episode 10, it's 75 views, and Episode 11, 57, 12, 49, 70, 104, the beginning of the end. That was one hell of an episode. 49, 74, so they were quite high in terms of me only having like 100 subscribers, but the editing mattered a lot, because I remember in one of them I had like it go cinematic screen, movie, song in the background, me stealing someone's elytra. Yes, it's quite cringe, but it worked really well, and it got it 104 views, so I'd say it works, having that slightly cringier element, because it always needs to be a tiny bit cringe or tiny bit camp, because that's what it makes a good video. You need those elements of fun, and like, what's the point in being grown up if you can't be a bit childish?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, maturing is obviously something that, I mean, everyone needs to go through because that actually puts you into, like, that makes you a better person. But I'd say you have to actually just have a bit of fun sometimes and just let out, like, your inner child, I guess, on videos. And even if the video isn't, like, that amazing, people are still seeing you having fun. And I don't know, I just feel like some videos like that, they're quite they're quite raw. Like they don't necessarily need a load of editing. If, like in contrast to what we were saying before, but I think some of them actually are quite nice, and it's just nice to see people having fun at times.
Yeah, and you mentioned maturing. You look back at my old videos, first of all, my voice is a whole lot higher, but also, I have changed the way I speak and act so much more. I was so annoying in some of the old videos. Like, I was annoying myself when I was editing episode 1 of Shroomcraft. Like, you've got me and my Lossie. My Lossie, he's fine. He's just, like, shoving me in ravines and being happy. Then you've got me just being ever so slightly annoying, which it's not massively obvious, but it is obvious when you've edited the same clip about 20 times because you were trying to find the right effect for it, but there you go. And then I have kind of realised as I've looked back at my old videos, I was getting more views on them than I do now. Sorry, what is going on
Yeah.
here? I had like 100 subscribers back then, and I was getting 50, 100 views. That was the margin.
Mm.
And then on the recent Shroomcraft Season 3 videos, well, I say recent, beginning of this year,
Yeah.
they were really not as good. Like, I don't think a single one of them hit anything like 70 or 100. I don't think. I might be completely wrong, as I haven't looked at it much, but let's have a look. Episode 1 got 80, 2, 71, 3, 68, 54, 29, 54, 49, 53. So none of them actually hit the 100 mark, and it's because I think I messed up on a tiny bit of the lore, because I promised lore and then didn't really give it that season. Whereas in the future, I will be giving it so much, especially in the 2 movies or 3 movies that I'm making. I will promise lore and I will give it. I will give everything I've got. I will put everything into that to make it engaging and fun and serious. Well, the third or second movie, the last one, is going to be really serious, but also fun at the same time. It's, wow, it is amazing what effect editing has.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going back on what I said before. It honestly sometimes editing carries the videos. I mean, like some channels can go from just raw, literally just a raw recording, and then in less than a month's time, once they've learned some actual editing, like the quality of their videos can just step up so much. You know, once they sort out that crappy mic and the slightly laggy recording, I mean, and just add in a couple of good cuts, I mean, it can change the complete trajectory of their channel. They can go from 10 subscribers up to 100 just like that, just because of editing.
Yeah, and a perfect example of that is Spying Ship. James, he, in the first few Finite Life videos, didn't edit the videos, and the recording was really, really laggy, but as soon as you got to, like, episode 4 or something, the videos were being cut and edited, and the footage was no longer laggy. The only thing that annoyed me was that he plays left-handed. Like, people get confused at that. That's a whole nother debate. I'm not going on to the left-handed Minecraft thing. But yeah, it completely changed his channel. He's now got much more views on his videos, because they're not laggy and they've been cut down. It's the editing and the quality that helps.
Yeah.
And then you've also got people clicking on your video, which is essential because, well, impressions, YouTube can push it out there, but if people don't click on it, then you're not getting the views. So essential stuff is thumbnails and titles. They matter so much, whether a viewer clicks on your video and actually then goes and watches it. So it's several steps of make a really good and engaging thumbnail, but not too much on it, because that can become chaotic and just overwhelm someone and they can quite easily flick past, but also make it good quality. And then you've got the title. After the person has seen the thumbnail, they will look at the title, and maybe that's a question, maybe that's reasons why you should do this. It could be anything that sort of makes the viewer go, ooh, I wonder what that could be about, or ooh, yeah, I need to know something about that, to give them that sort of intrigue of the video. And then when they click on the video, it needs to grab them within the first few seconds, otherwise they're just going to click off and go on another video. Let's say they're scrolling down their page, they click on that video and go, oh, this is boring, the footage is laggy, let's just click off, and then click on the next video that might be completely different but is more engaging to them.
Yeah. I mean, I think another thing that like will develop your videos and also just make the video just way more enjoyable to watch is it honestly a lot of it depends on the recorders and the people in the video, their charisma and just how they act in in the footage, because like you're not gonna want to watch a video of someone who's really quite boring, they're not saying much, and they don't really find many jokes funny, for example. But if you've got a video of, you can see some friends who are genuinely having fun, and they all seem to have quite different yet still still enjoyable perspectives to watch, and just how they react to each other and things. Like you're gonna want to watch that video because it's just way more entertaining. So like if someone was very like bland in like an old video, and they didn't exactly know how to react to things, how to make the video more entertaining for the viewer after editing, and then you log maybe some more recent videos of them and how they've grown, how you can see that they have just gotten more skilled at just being able to create content in the video, like making actual enjoyable things to watch, and just genuinely reacting to things better and not being as boring or bland as their other videos, then people are definitely going to want to click on that more recent one more, because it's just way more entertaining to watch and unique.
Yeah, you've hit the nail right on the head, because I think it was an old video, but Pixelcraft10 YouTuber, he was going through how you can create content. So this was a while ago that I watched this, and one of the things that he said was, would you rather watch someone having a good time in, let's say, 720 pixels, bad quality, or would you rather watch someone having a bad time who's boring and not passionate about what they're doing in 4K? You'd want to watch them having a good time. And just having that experience of, oh, this person's fun, they're enjoying themselves, is what you need. Like, even if you look at my videos, I tried not to be boring, but some of my older ones, when it was just me by myself, I'd drop into this voice where it was kind of just like me droning on really badly, and I didn't have anything in my voice, and it was like, oh, I've just been killed by a spider, and like, now I try and go, oh, so this is happening, and I've fallen off a cliff, this is happening. Like, especially in Finite Life,
Yeah.
that was the first sort of thing where I shouted at my computer. That was the first thing that happened, because I think it was I had a firework rocket and Rusty was trying to get away from me. He said, "Do you have any food?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." And I said, "Why can't you fight me?" And he said, "Well, I can't run because I'm only on 3 hearts." And I just released this firework rocket at him. He exploded, and I just was very happy about that, because that was, I think, possibly my first kill, because I hadn't got any up to that point, and I think that was my first time being red. So yeah, that was when
Yeah.
when it gets exciting, you need to express that, and when it's
Yeah. Yeah.
boring, you need to try and bring it up so it's exciting.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, if like something interesting is happening in the video, you want to, you want to try and just you want to scale it up more. Let the viewer know like. If you've got an exciting moment in the video, you want people you want to take advantage of that. Basically, is what I'm getting at. You want that to be a main point in the video because that's something that people are going to enjoy. People aren't going to click off because it's boring. People are going to stay because they want to watch that exciting and interesting moment, right? So if it's you don't want footage of you just sitting in a cave, but if you've got like you're meeting another member on the server, and maybe one of you gets blown up, you want to take advantage of that. You want to record it. You want to express how you're feeling at that moment in the video by like shouting or laughing, because then that makes a video more interesting rather than just droning on or just sitting there and kind of just talking normally, to be honest.
Yeah, and I'm going to bring it back to the movie that I'm making, not the first one, which is just me cutting all my old content into one, but the one where I am writing a script for, and as I've said, everything ends. I will try my hardest to make the viewer feel tense and like what's going to happen and excited and sort of a mix of emotions, because there will be a scene that's going to be really tense, or a couple of scenes where I'm going to have to try and do something, but then something happens and I'm like, trying to hold on to trying to do something. It's really difficult not to say exactly what's going on here, but bringing in that tension and holding on to that through your voice, because yeah, I'm an actor, so I find it much easier now, but having that expression in your voice of what's happening in that situation and just going, oh my god, how do I cope with this? The viewer will also feel, oh my god, what is going on here? This is insane. And if they feel any sort of emotion, whether that's sadness, happiness, tense, nervous, they will keep on watching that video. They will watch and they will watch. It's like any TV show. If it's boring, it's got no emotion, nobody's going to keep watching it. They're just going to sit there and go, well, I've got another series to be watching, let's flick over to that. They will then keep watching if there's emotion. It's the same all round. So having that emotion and that connection with your viewers is so essential.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Like, where if you've got people who they can't really express their emotion like well, they can't get out that excitement or that sadness in the video or in the show or movie, then it's not going to land you anywhere. It's just going to leave you with a boring just piece of like footage that really people are not going to want to see. And I mean, as you said, if you see it on videos or TV shows or movies, and the actors aren't very good, well, then you're not gonna want to watch that movie. If the actors aren't good and they can't express the emotion, and they can't, show what is happening in the like movie or show at that point in time, well, then they aren't really gonna make it that entertaining to watch, to be honest. It's going to be quite bland and boring.
Yeah, and as I was saying with the whole basically feel the moment sort of thing. If there's a really supposed to be really tense scene going on, you're about to do something, but you just can't quite make it, and your voice is just like, oh dear, it looks like the entire place is going to blow up. What a shame. That's not going to land you anything. You need to be like, well, not screaming, but shouting, sort of getting a bit more tense on edge as you're trying to get to this and using your voice to convey emotion. Like, it's with anything, really. And if you look at my old videos, you'll see I was trying to convey something, but, like, let's say I didn't want to sort of really shout too loud, maybe because my window was open or something, or somebody was next door and I didn't want to sort of, like, I felt a tiny bit embarrassed to. But now I really don't. I can do anything and will be happy about it. So that's what I'm going to do in my future videos and recordings or whatever, is bring that emotion to it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I see what you're saying. Like, I mean, like, looking at your channel, if, I mean, sorry, you start to show more emotion and show more laughter and such, the videos really start to perk up. And I mean, it's not just like the views on the video. I mean, I feel like it somehow affects just the thumbnails and like how the videos are edited and such. It's as if like this new kind of like reaction and excitement in the video is now making them almost better in other things as well. It's not just improving like the people in the like it's not just improving the characters and who's in it. It's also improving just the general quality of the video itself. You know? It's almost like it's contagious.
Yeah.
When you start to really get the feel for the video and you start to like showcase your emotions more, then it's almost like you get better at editing. You get better at like just knowing how to make an entertaining video, which then causes you to be able to know how to get an entertaining title or an interesting thumbnail, etc. It just improves the quality of the video even more.
Yeah, and picking up from what you're saying about the title and the thumbnail, if for, let's say, a certain episode or video, you've got a certain theme going of maybe sadness because somebody's left your server, or happiness because a certain event's on, or excitement, anything like that, you can then create a title that sort of revolves around that and conveys the emotion, and then you're sort of feeling that after recording it. So the thumbnail, when you're making that, you can then make it exciting, so everybody's sort of cheering, or, I don't know, maybe if it's sad, then in Minecraft, the player's head is hanging down on the thumbnail or something, and everybody's kind of a bit sad, and the lighting's maybe blue or something, just to give it that sense of sadness or emotion. And it affects the entire video, as you've said. It affects every single aspect of it. And when you come to a movie, as I'm doing, I keep on coming back to this, but there you go, it's a lot of emotions. So you've got to convey all these emotions in one, but the main emotion for something with lots of emotion, you want the viewer to feel excited for watching it. And then as soon as they get into watching it, because they've been excited for it, they can then feel a range of different emotions, from sadness to happiness. So on a movie thumbnail, maybe you want to include loads of things, or one certain prominent thing that's kind of like, oh wow, that's a shock. And then that gets the person excited for the video and ready to click on it, and that makes them want to watch it. As you said, it affects absolutely everything.
Yeah, I mean, like, and it's not just that. I mean, the thumbnail conveys, as you have just said, it conveys emotion, but it also increases, like, if you see an entertaining thumbnail which has, say, maybe a good render of the player with some other people on it, and it shows what they're playing, but it doesn't block the screen too much, for example. So it's a good thumbnail. It's people are gonna want to click on that, right? Like I'm not gonna want to click on a video that shows like a bad screenshot of someone with maybe some very big like title right in front of their face, so I can't see what's happening. I'm not gonna want to click on that. I'm gonna click on maybe the video next to it that's got a much more entertaining thumbnail. The thumbnail is what catches the viewer's attention. It's what encourages them to click on the video. You're not gonna have any viewers if you don't have a good thumbnail, because that is what gets them to click on it. Now, there is some examples of this that aren't right. For example, like, if you go on Technoblade's channel, right, I mean, no offense to, obviously, him, but he hasn't got some of the best thumbnails on some videos. But that's because they're quite light-hearted, and they're not really taken very seriously. And he's relying on, generally, his charisma and just his, reaction to what's happening in the game like, to make the video more entertaining. So there's a few rare cases where the thumbnail isn't necessarily going to have to be good. But I'd say for almost all, channels and creators out there, you're going to need a good thumbnail, because that is what gets people to click on the video. And that's what gets them to see, okay, I know what this is about. And they're like, oh, okay, this is a Minecraft video. Or, oh, okay, this is like, I don't know, a clip of a movie. And it just conveys the emotion, conveys what is going to be happening in the footage. You're not going to have any viewers if you don't have a good thumbnail.
Yeah, and I've just started looking at my Season 2 Shroomcraft thumbnails, and even on a small scale of this is just a channel who tries to keep the thumbnails roughly the same, in the first episode, which has 125 views, you have a massive Herobrine with me and Bluffing Jam running away from it. Loads of people have clicked on that because they've seen Herobrine. The second episode has 40 views, but the thumbnail isn't as good. There's lightning in the background, there's me covered in Skulk, with Herobrine covered in Skulk behind me, and Herobrine's much smaller, and it doesn't really, intrigue you too much. Also, the lighting on it isn't great. And then you've got episode 3, which has 69 views, and it's got this large character in the background who's looming over Herobrine, a zombie, and me, who looks like they're controlling us or something. Well, it was the creator, and the creator did control everything. That looming figure in the background made 69 people click on that video. And then the next one after that, 66 views. You had Fire to Two Sides, a massive wither skeleton and blaze overlooking me and Poison Stimp. Then 27 views. Not the greatest of thumbnails. You've got a massive mushroom in the background, which was supposed to be Daisy, with me looking upwards, a goat to the left of me, and Poison Stimp with some gravel flying through a void towards us. It was supposed to be a part archaeology episode, but that really didn't hit too well. And then you've got the finale, which only has 28 views, so similar to the penultimate episode, with a massive ender dragon head and Daisy as a sort of the controller now, and me holding a diamond sword. It's not great because I'd use the random background of just a void, the void that you see when you look into the end portal. It's that one. And each time I've used that on those 2 consecutive videos, they've got less views, and I think I've used it before in the past on some Season 1 videos. Yeah, if you look at it here, Let the Chaos Begin, which is episode 21, it's got me and Bluffing Jam with 2 massive heads and a void background. That's only got 35 views, but the reason those people have clicked on that isn't because of the background, but because we have big heads, probably. And I think that was the first time I used it, I believe. So yeah, it was a case of the background matters just as much as the foreground, because if, let's say, you have two intriguing characters on the foreground, but then your background is just a black screen, it basically shows that those characters maybe aren't as important or aren't as intriguing as you'd like them to be. So that's kind of quite sad. But if you have an exciting background, or maybe a background that is quite clear but also conveys something about the video, so whether that's just a Minecraft Plains biome for a first episode with the sun setting in the distance, or something along the lines of that, the background matters just as much as the foreground.
Yeah, I mean, that's very true. I mean, if you look at my channel, I haven't really mentioned it in this yet, but I wouldn't say my channel has very good thumbnails. I mean, it's quite badly cropped images just kind of stuck together with a glow around them, and I didn't even get a good background for some of them. And I've only really made 2 videos. I don't know how to make the best thumbnails and just editing, but I feel like even though the thumbnail is a little bit shabby, I somehow managed to get quite a bit of traction on my videos, as they've got 87 views. I don't know if this is because I'm a new content creator and people are trying out my videos, seeing if they're any good.
Sorry,
They're not.
I just tried to search up Redroi on YouTube. I clicked on the wrong channel, and I've just got this
No.
random guy.
Is it a
Okay,
Simpson guy?
yeah, that guy. Have you also
Yeah.
got him up? Yeah, I've clicked on you now. So yeah, I mean, the red panda thumbnail is fantastic on your live videos. Gotta love that. But yeah, to be honest, your amplified live videos, those two there, the first one is very good. That thumbnail, that is very good. Like the explosion and then the 2 exclamation marks is beautiful. The only problem is the background. Like you said, they're not massively exciting, and the perspective isn't quite right, but it's made 87 people click on it, so I shouldn't worry too much. And then on the second one, it's slightly toned down a bit, but you have you and then Powder about to sort of strike at you. It looks quite dangerous, and then that tiny bit of text as well. But then again, the background isn't massively great, but it still made 80 people click on it. So I'm assuming that's the quality of the video and not, well, the quality of the editing and video inside, other than the sort of the background of the thumbnail. Because, yeah, you could have gone for maybe a more exciting background of maybe the bass or the explosion or something like that, but it still worked. So there's another example of thumbnails not necessarily being the whole story. It's also what's inside that matters. It's like a Christmas present, if you think about it. If you get let's say a gift in brown paper and then a gift in colourful, like, I don't know, Christmassy wrapping paper, and give that to a child, they're more likely to go and open up the colourful one first, whereas they'd then leave the one wrapped in brown paper till last. However, it's me, so if it was me, I'd pick the brown paper one because it's recyclable and good for the environment, but we're not going into that. So, yeah, it's what's inside that matters as well as what's on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, like, as you said, the thumbnail doesn't necessarily have to be the best. It's almost a thing that sets the stage for the video. It's a thing that sets the viewer's expectations. So they might click on it, not necessarily expecting the best thing, but then they might realize, hold up, this person's actually pretty good at editing, or hold up, this person's quite entertaining. And once they know that, now they're going to click on more videos. So you don't necessarily have to get the best thumbnail. It's just something that really helps establish your video and builds the plot and the stage, essentially, for the editing and the you know, the reactions and the people in it to then do the rest, pretty much.
Yeah, it's everything. Everything builds up together to make a perfect video, because every single element, if you get them all perfect, which nobody will and nobody ever will, if you get all of them perfect, then you've got a perfect video. More people will click on that. It all matters. It all comes down to everything mattering.
Yeah. I mean, thumbnails aren't the complete decider of whether or not your video will do well, but they really, really do help. If you've got talent at making thumbnails and if you have got good thumbnails, then that is, I mean, that's a pure skill, and it will also encourage people to click on your video, as I was saying before. It just it it almost unlocks more views. It unlocks more people that are going to be encouraged to come and watch your video. They're going to be entertained by it, right? They're gonna want to click on that video. They're not doing it just because they're subscribed to you or just because they know you. I mean, it might be a completely foreign concept of the video to them. Like, it could be a completely different game or a completely new YouTuber that they haven't seen before. But if it's a good thumbnail, they might be encouraged to click on it. Or if it's a bad thumbnail and they don't necessarily think it's the best, but they find it slightly funny, for example, they might actually click on that. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be the best thumbnail, but it is, as long as it's something that can grab the viewer's attention, then that is what really matters.
Yeah, and I've got a problem when I'm making thumbnails. I have to make them all quite uniform, so logo of whatever I'm doing at the top, number at the bottom. After the movies, or well, the movies themselves, I will not do that, because it makes people think, if there's a number in the corner especially, oh, well, I can't watch that because I haven't watched episode 1, and maybe they can't be bothered to go and click on the channel and then scroll back to episode 1. They just kind of go, oh, well, I can't be bothered to watch that, let's watch another series that I'm already halfway in. It's a case of, you don't really need any sort of text on your thumbnail. You can, like, maybe adding intrigue to what it is, but not necessarily, oh, this is Skyblock episode 1 and here's my face plastered all over the screen, because why not? It's a case of, you don't need that. You can have a plain thumbnail, but still have it look really good. So it could just be a picture with no text, and that could bring everybody in. Like with the whole movie situation, I've got an idea in my head for what the art is going to be like on the thumbnail, but I may completely change that. But it has no text on it. It's like all the characters put into one big thing. And that adds sort of intrigue of, oh, there's a lot of people in this, I might click on this. Oh,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to probably go and do something with this. So you don't have to necessarily have that formality. Like, I know most, or quite a few YouTubers who had series, or have series, don't necessarily put a number on their thumbnail because of the reason that I've stated previously. Some people will think, oh, I can't watch that. They can, but they think that they can't. And even in the title, you don't necessarily need to put the title of the episode, then Shroomcraft Season 1, Series 2, Episode 3. Like, you don't really need to do that. Let's say it's just a question or something. Like the names of these podcasts, all it is a number before. Okay, maybe, yeah, there's a number before, but not on Spotify. It's a number before and then the title. So the title is still fully visible, and people know with the podcast you don't need to listen to it from the beginning. So it's a tiny bit of a different situation, but it's a question or a statement that I always like to put on the titles. For example, the first episode was the history of the mob votes, and this title is probably going to be something like, what makes a good Minecraft video? And that's a question. And questions get into people's heads, and people go, ooh, I want to learn about this, I want to find out something. and then they go and click on it. And that click is all that they need to then delve deeper into that video. And then let's say they finish that video and they've gone, wow, that was amazing. I want to watch more of this content. They go onto the channel and they've got tons more to watch. Maybe it might not be as good quality, it may be some older videos, but they now know that person and will then go and watch whatever that sort of suits them, maybe because it lines up with the lore, or because it looks quite fun, or maybe it's something completely different. It can be anything that then makes them get invested into your channel. And as soon as they're invested, they click subscribe, and you've gained another person. It sounds like a long process, and it is for the first several hundred subscribers. Like, I'm still doing it now. It's a long process. However, it gets much easier when you get into the thousands, because maybe it's not one person clicking on that video, it's 3 people, and then 4, or even 100 clicking onto that video and going, oh wow, this channel's good, subscribe. And that's how you build your channel. Hang on, this is escalated really quickly from a video to a channel. That's impressive. And I know I'm saying this with only 690 so subscribers.
Yeah.
But I never followed that when I first started off. Like, maybe now I could be in the thousands, but when I started off, let's not go back to those videos. Should we just say that? They weren't exciting, they weren't enjoyable, and, well, I'm just going to play it through my mic, to be honest. My first video I had just kind of recorded because I got a tiny bit scared over a resource pack I had on, although I didn't know it was a resource pack at the time. I thought it was just a glitch with the game and Herobrine was stalking me. It's only like, oh, it's 8 minutes long. Wow, that's more impressive. But it's like,
I don't have the intention of that. I am now using OBS so that I haven't got options.
hear that? An atrocity.
Yeah.
You can't even hear what I'm saying. It's just a bunch of mobs and then a faint voice of mine going, well, I'm using OBS now because it's much easier to use. I hadn't even created a video before that point. I had tried to, but they were way too laggy because I'd used like some other random recording software. I don't even know what it was, but I deleted that a long time ago, believe me. But also another thing is the sounds in the game. Don't let them overpower your voice, because you end up with something like that where you can't hear what the person's saying. Just go and turn the sounds down. Like, now, if I just click onto Minecraft quickly, and I've just opened up CapCut, let's go into options. This is the Season 2 Shroomcraft installation I've got, but it's the same sort of thing, music and sounds. Master volume I keep at 100%, music is off, weather is at 5, hostile creatures at 3, players at 4, jukebox and note blocks at 10, blocks at 17, friendly creatures at 1, and ambient environment at 1, although I would probably boost friendly creatures up to 4 and ambient up to about 10, to be honest. That's what I'd do now. But yeah, it's also that matters quite a bit of, if I can't hear what they're saying, what's the point in me watching?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, on that note of your old videos, something that I think I notice a lot is when people first start a channel, they don't necessarily always know, like, what are the steps to make it engaging? How are you going to make this video, entertaining for people to watch? And that leads the videos to be, like, they don't know the right settings to use, they don't know how to edit it, they don't know how to make it engaging by reacting to things in the right way. So it makes the videos quite boring and quite bland and honestly a bit embarrassing. But then as people improve in those videos, as people get to learn those skills much better, then you realize, oh, hold on, this is working for me. And then you can develop on that, and then you can you learn more skills as you go along through the channel, and then that allows you to get more viewers, more people who, you know, are enjoying it, and they're clicking on more videos, and then you get more subscribers. And then once you've established a good amount of viewers, then your video, I think your channel really starts to pick up, because more people are sharing your videos, more people are talking about you, and you really start to create a notable, like, a channel on the YouTube space. People are going to start referring to you more. Like, people will know who you are, what what you record, and they're going to be engaged. They're going to want to see more videos. So once you've established a good, like, form of content and good editing and, you know, good reaction, then you can get more viewers from that, because they're going to keep on moving on to the next video. And it really helps, I think.
Yeah, and even if you look at those videos that go 10 things I knew before starting a YouTube channel and stuff like that, you watch them, you go, ah, yeah, like, who messes up on that? Nobody does. So you try to implement it into your first video. Nobody gets their first video that correct. It's like those videos of, oh, here's 10 things I thought I should know before and what you should know. It's not really great, because anything, you can be told absolutely anything, you can be told everything. It will never be what you want it to be. You can make it and go, yeah, that was alright. Like, to be honest, you look at some YouTubers, their first videos are, like, amazing. But then, like me, I went in with confidence going, ah, yeah, I've watched every single video, I've done enough research, I know what's going on. I look back at them and go, what was I on? What was I really on? Like, I didn't know enough. Do more research. Just keep going, and you might get a better video to what, let's say, somebody who does a bit of, just like a small bit of research and is really confident about themselves. Be confident, but also be aware of, you are going to make mistakes, but address those mistakes later on within the first few videos, and then you can rock it easily. I didn't do that. I addressed the mistakes 100 videos in. Like, you need to address them early on to get that going. It doesn't matter how much you do, you will make mistakes, and that's fine. It's all about learning.
Yeah. And learning then advances that your videos. And I think a big mistake that a lot of people make at the start is, you know, they've got the recording set up, they've got what game they want, and sometimes people have the confidence. But I think there's two main mistakes. Either they do not have that confidence that most of the successful YouTubers have, and they need to develop it, and they need to get more confident speaking to the viewers and speaking to other people in the video, or they don't know, like, they don't know those tips and those skills to make the video more interesting to watch, and they don't know how to edit it properly, which can be honestly a massive disadvantage, because that just makes the video so much worse and painful to watch. Like, you might have an entertaining person, but if there's like just raw content, and they might be entertaining, but they haven't put effort into the video to make it interesting, because they don't really know how to, then honestly, I don't think you're gonna want to watch that video, because it's just not as interesting, as entertaining as something else that maybe more skillful, or a more forgotten a word now. Anyways, a more skillful YouTuber would do.
Yeah, and as you sort of said, effort. Effort is key. If you don't spend enough time or effort on doing a thing, that thing may not be good. Whether that's making a thumbnail, making a title, editing, recording the video, doing stuff in the video, having effort in your voice, doing effort. That's not really a phrase, but you get the point. Effort is key. Effort, effort, effort. Spend time on it. Spend double the amount of time you would normally on maybe making a title or making a thumbnail or thinking up of certain things or maybe creating a plan for the episode. You need to put that effort in to engage your audience and then make an enjoyable video.
Yeah, I mean, I fully agree with what you're saying. You need to put effort. You need to put as much knowledge as you can into that video to make it entertaining. If you're gonna want to actually create entertaining, engaging, and good videos, then you have to use what knowledge you have, what skills you have, and put it into that. That, even if they're not exactly conventional, even if they're not normal things you would find in your everyday video, that is what makes it unique and creative. Like, there's some YouTubers out there who really, I mean, when they first started off, they would not have had, the typical content of a Minecraft YouTuber, but then you realise, hold on, this new form of content that they're creating, this is actually working really well for them. Because they have made a unique and an interesting video that people are, like, starting to really get engaged in. People are like, oh, okay, this is actually quite interesting. I like this. I'm going to click on more videos like this. So then you establish your own form of content rather than just copying what all the big YouTubers do and trying to create a good video, but in reality it's honestly quite boring and not that unique.
Yeah, and that sort of sums it all up, really. It's coming to the end of our hour, maybe slightly over, but who cares? It's a podcast, we can run over if we want to. And can we just say, before we end it, thank you to Redroi, who jumped onto this with about an hour's notice as a guest, didn't really know everything about it, and did an amazing job at just pushing the flow and making sure there were no silences. He's basically done a better job than me and Troy combined, which is stunning, to be honest, first time round. So yeah, thank you, and I'm gonna clap.
That's not necessary, but I appreciate it.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been quite a fun time, actually. I mean, I think the hour's flown by, to be honest. I hadn't even realised the time. But yeah, I really appreciate it, Pix. This has actually been quite fun. And it's actually, I think it's going to help me with my content as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to use some of the stuff that we've been talking about in my videos to make them better. So, I mean, that's just a sign, I guess, right? Like, when it's been a good podcast when the hosts are actually, like, realizing, hold on, I can take tips from what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's always been a thing in life with me. I can give you tips and I can say everything, but I can't take my own tips, and I am trying to learn to do that and take my own tips, spend that more time. So it's really difficult because this is outside of Minecraft and content creation altogether. I need to take my own advice, basically. And for some people that can be quite hard to do, but go on, trust yourself and do it. Listen to yourself and go, is that a good idea? If so, yes, do it. If you're giving somebody else advice, you're going through the same situation as them, take that advice for yourself. If that's helped them, it will help you. Like, take your own advice, listen to yourself, it will get you places.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are available on YouTube, YouTube Music, Spotify. As I've already said, I say that at the beginning and at the end. Thank you for watching, and just before I finish this, I will play two songs, well, not songs, pieces of music that I have made recently, which could or could not, it depends how I feel, make a debut in the one of the 2 or 3 movies. So I just thought I'd play that for you. If you want to listen for a bit longer, listen to that music, because it's quite nice, quite dramatic as well. But from me and Redroi, that is goodbye.
Bye.